Starting streaming. Okay, streaming should be working. That's 480p. 480p is shit. We're going to do better than 480p. Okay, can you have a look? Is the stream live? The stream live, and most importantly, is the audio working? Yeah, you have to click on the channel. Refresh. Okay, good. Live stream's there. Click on it and see if the audio is properly working. And yeah, that's good. And bitrate. Okay, so let's see if I can get this to be full screenish enough. Bloody hell. Can I just magnified it. Well, now I went offline again in between, so you won't be able to see anything. Okay, so this is obviously our IVAS tutorial. So what we're going to go through is essentially how to do a proper reconstruction and how to allocate your peaks and all that jazz. So everything that you need to start out with a data set from the atom probe and then get to analyzable data, okay? And then we're going to do data analysis. We're going to look into data analysis with IVAS a little bit, just to show you what's there, what you can do with it. Because for quite a few of you, that might just be fully sufficient in terms of what you need. And then afterwards, in the afternoon, we'll go and have a look at doing everything in MATLAB by hand. And this is important for everyone that does anything that goes beyond finding out concentrations in phases. So essentially, if you need to do any interface work, if you need to do anything with clusters, dislocations, and so on and so forth, or you've got multi-layer systems, or anything more advanced, you will need to work with MATLAB. Also, if you don't have an IVAS license, so we've got our friends from Vienna here that obviously don't have an IVAS license, and we'll probably do some more advanced stuff, and we'll show you how to do everything in MATLAB. Okay, or at least as far as we get. So what I'm using here is IVAS 638, which I think doesn't have the sort of tip profile reconstruction that you can do. But that it's not really going to bother us too much because these are things we're gladly going to meet. So IVAS is the program that comes with the only current commercial atom probe that's out there, which is the LEAP atom probe. And it's essentially used to do the reconstructions and the analysis. It stands for Integrated Visualization and Analysis Software. It used to stand for Imago Visualization and Analysis Software back in the days when it was still the name of the company. And it's essentially what it says. So the whole procedure is divided into two parts. The first part is the reconstruction, which involves defining detector data and defining which part of the data you want to use, which is the first step, because you might have parts of your data which are no good or not really usable for one reason or another. And the next step is calibrating the mass spectrum, so doing the chemical reconstruction, as I call it, which means reconstructing from the time of flight the mass spectrum. All of this is highly automated, so you'll find it's actually fairly easy to do. And the third step is third step of the first section is to do the spatial reconstruction. I, for now, will assume they have a basic understanding of what the reconstruction algorithm is, the standard ones, at least fundamentally, and how they work. Yeah, we're going to look into what you can tweak and what you should tweak and what you should not tweak. Okay. And then, of course, the reconstruction happens, and once you have your reconstruction, based on the different atomic positions, you can do your analysis. Okay, so let's get started with. We're going to straight away do it with a data set that was provided by Chandra. What data is it? Or don't tell me. We'll find it. We'll find out along the way, because we always say atom probe is something we don't need to know beforehand what stuff is. We'll find out whether that's actually true or whether it's just wishful thinking. Let's put it this way. Okay, so we'll put it onto the documents folder. And which one is it? This one? Okay, so it's just the archive file. Okay.
That's all you needed, right?
Yeah. What? Why can't it make a new folder? Wrong parameter. Why is this not a Mac? Oh, yeah. Anyway, we'll just use the folder. Does it not do that either? It doesn't do that. Copy. Okay. Computer. Windows. That's why I always use Unix-based systems. Anyway, we'll have to deal with things. So obviously, for anyone that's watching this and that's not German, I apologize for all of the system being in German, but it's just how it is here. Anyway. So the starting point is always an IHIT file, which is the raw data that comes from the atom probe. And the IHIT file also contains a variety of information about the experiment. So all of the experimental parameters and everything are already in there. I think you can change the name of the file and it will still retain all of that. I'm fairly sure it does, but we don't usually do that. We keep the raw run numbers. Main reason for that is that you can easily go back into the database, into the server, and look up old data. Because you might have written down, I've got R56 plus something. So R56 just stands for this is the 56th lead atom probe that's been built, and the rest is just a run number, and the information is contained in it. So in order to create a new project, just click here, New Project, and we create it from an IHIT file. You can also create one from a root file. This is if you already had a project somewhere else. So you can copy the entire project folder to a new computer and start a project from a root file, which then contains all the analysis that you've done before, which obviously is a pretty handy thing to be able to do. And I think you can do it from an existing old analysis folder as well. get the descriptions here. No, wasn't the root file, supposed to be the root file. So usually we start from an hit file. So this is your experimental output. In order to get the hit file, there is a lead data drive on the Atom probe, and from that lead data drive, you need to copy your data. You need to copy it into your temporary drive. So in Erlang, you need to copy it into your temporary drive. Other places might handle it differently. Do not use a USB stick. If I find you with a USB stick on the Atom probe, that's a lab ban. For obvious reasons. I think it's something that these days you shouldn't have to say, but I'm just saying it. Never ever use a USB stick on the Atom probe. Okay. Okay, so then you just choose where the hit file is. Okay, we will start with the code. Okay, I think it's got a problem because it's not in the not actually in the network. We'll restart IVAS and see maybe we'll have a bit more luck now. Kill everything. Okay, so apparently our network setup really hates it if you don't have network access. So the question is, do I have to log off and on again? I might have to log off and on again. Because it pulls all of your